The digital world the Bible warned about, a world where every voice is heard, yet truth is harder to find than ever before. Light fills the screens, but shadows fill the soul. Connection is instant, but meaning feels distant. And somewhere in the middle of it all, a question rises. Did the Bible see this coming? Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the Bible Project for more cinematic Bible stories. Because tonight, we are stepping into a mystery, not about machines alone, but about patterns, ancient patterns, spiritual patterns, patterns that began long before the first screen ever lit up the dark. You will discover not a direct mention of technology, but something deeper, a blueprint, a warning, not about devices, but about the human heart and the systems it creates, the beginning of connection. Before networks, before signals, before voices traveled through the air, there was a garden. In Genesis, the world is quiet. Light moves gently across the waters. Creation breathes in harmony, and man walks with God. No interface, no screen, no delay, just presence, direct, pure, undistorted. God speaks, and man hears. Man responds, and God is there. This was the original connection, the first interruption. Then, a voice, not loud, not forceful, subtle. Did God really say? The connection is tested, not broken by force, but by suggestion. Because the enemy does not begin with destruction, he begins with distortion. And in that moment, something shifts. Man is no longer fully dependent on God. A new layer appears. Thought, interpretation, doubt. The first filter between man and truth. Knowledge without alignment. The fruit is taken. Knowledge enters. Eyes open. But something closes. Because knowledge without alignment creates separation. Man begins to process reality apart from God, to define truth independently, to rely on internal understanding. And the distance grows, not physically, but spiritually, the birth of systems. Time moves, generations pass, and man begins to build. Cities rise, languages expand, systems form. Then, in Genesis, a moment unfolds. Let us build a tower, not to worship, but to reach, to unify without God, to create a system that replaces dependence on Him. Bricks stack, voices merge, purpose aligns. Humanity becomes one network, connected, powerful, independent, and God intervenes. Because unity without truth is dangerous. The echo through time. Empires rise, empires fall, but the pattern remains. In Daniel, visions come alive in the night. Beasts rise from the sea. Not random, structured, systematic. Each representing kingdoms, but also systems of influence. Power centralized, voices controlled, truth shaped. The same pattern, repeating, different forms, same spirit. The age of voices. Now, the world glows. Screens flicker in the dark. Voices speak everywhere. Thousands, millions, all at once. Information flows like a river, fast, endless, overwhelming, and something changes. Truth is no longer discovered. It is selected, curated, filtered, personalized. What you see is not everything, only what the system decides. The illusion of control. You scroll, you search, you ask, and answers come instantly. But behind every answer is a system. Behind every system is influence. Because control does not always feel like control. Sometimes it feels like convenience, like personalization, like freedom. But slowly, choices are shaped, thoughts are guided, perspectives are narrowed, and the system learns you faster than you understand yourself. The battle for truth. The Bible speaks again. In 1 John, test the spirits, because not every voice carries truth. Not every message carries light. And in a world full of voices, discernment becomes survival, because deception does not remove truth. It replaces it, quietly, gradually, until what is false feels normal. The final system. In Revelation, the vision intensifies. A system emerges, global, unified, controlled, where buying, selling, participation in society itself is tied to allegiance, not forced at first, but embraced because it works, because it solves problems, because it offers order, but at a cost. A subtle exchange, convenience for control, access for allegiance, a world fully connected. Imagine it, a world where everything is connected, every action tracked, every voice heard, every decision influenced, no waiting, no uncertainty, everything optimized, perfect, efficient, seamless. But in that perfection, where is God? Not removed violently, but replaced gradually by systems that feel sufficient, the return of light. Then, suddenly, the system shakes, not from within, but from above. The sky opens, light breaks through, not artificial, not filtered, real, pure, unstoppable, because no system can replace the source. No creation can surpass the Creator. And in a moment, every false light is exposed. What this means for you. The screens are still on. The world is still connected. Nothing outwardly has changed. But something within has shifted. Because this was never just about technology. It is about trust. Where do you go for truth? Who shapes your thinking? What forms your decisions? Because long before systems control the world, they influence the heart. So the question is not, is the digital world evil? The real question is, what place does it hold in your life? Because the Bible did not warn about screens. It warned about deception, about systems that replace God, about voices that sound right, but lead away from truth, and only those who remain rooted will not be moved. If this opened your eyes, subscribe to the Bible Project for more cinematic Bible revelations, because the most dangerous shifts are not the ones you see, they are the ones you slowly accept.